Okay, sixth grade. Today we're going to be estimating the percent of a number. Example number one, we're going to estimate 47% of 692. Remember, we only estimate numbers so that way it's easier for us to look at and to add up in our minds. So say like you go to a store, say Walmart, and you see something for 96 cents. And you get about 5 things of those that cost 96 cents. So in our minds, as we're adding things up, we're not going to say 96 plus 96 plus 96 plus 96. No, we're not going to do that. What's easier for us, we're going to just go ahead and say $1 because 96 cents is closer to $1. Okay? So that is how we estimate. And it's a little bit different from rounding because estimation just makes it easier for us to look at. So example number one, we're going to be estimating 47% of 692. All right, so 47% in our minds is closer and it's easier for us to look at 50%. And 692 is just easier for us to look at 700. So we're just going to now multiply. And we're going to turn this into a decimal, okay? So 47% or 50%, because we have estimated it to 50%. So we're going to take this decimal here, move it 2 spaces, and that's how we're going to get our decimal 0.50. And the of, remember, we have to multiply. And then we're going to take our new estimation of 692. Remember, we said it was closer to 700. So 0.50 times 700 will then give us 350. Okay? So please pause the video and take down your notes. All right, now example number 2. We are going to estimate 60% of 27. So in here, our 60%, that's easy to look at, so we can just leave that. But that 27, no, we're going to change that. Okay, now I want to tell you with estimation, you can go up or you can go a little bit down, okay? So you don't always have to go up, all right? So instead of leaving this as 27, I think it'll be easier for us to look at 25, okay? So instead of 27, we're going to put it as 25. So we're going to turn this 60% into a decimal. Remember, we're going to take this decimal right here, move it 2 spaces. And so now we have 0.60. And the of, we multiply 25. So when we multiply 0.60 times 25, we then get 15. In the next video, finding the percent of a number, I will tell you 2 ways and how to multiply, okay? Using a decimal or a fraction, okay? All right, and now, you know we always have to have word problems, so please pause the video, copy down notes, so that way you can get ready for our word problem. All right, here's our word problem. Please pause the video and copy down the word problem, okay? So that way you'll have something to refer back to when you are doing your work, okay? Polar bears can eat as much as 10% of their body weight in less than an hour. If an adult male polar bear weighs 715 pounds, about how much food can he eat in 1 hour? Okay, so they want us to find what is 10% of 715. So we have 10% and then 715. Now, 10%, that's easy to look at, so we can keep our 10%. But the 715, that's not easy to just add up in our minds very quickly. So we can go ahead and change that to 700. That's more like it. So now we just go ahead and plug it in. So we changed the 10% to a decimal, 0.10. Why? Because we took this decimal and we just moved it 2 places, okay? And then we're gonna multiply, and then we're gonna take this 700 and multiply it. Okay? So now we have 0.10 times 700, which will then give us 70. So about how much food can a polar bear eat in 1 hour? 70 pounds. Okay, and now here is our last word problem. And I know it is kind of lengthy, but go ahead and pause the video and copy it down. An airline records the snacks of all passengers. Last year, 9% of all passengers ordered ginger ale to drink. There are 408 passengers on the flight to Houston, Texas. About how many passengers does the airline expect to order ginger ale on this flight? Okay, so we want to find out what is 9% of 408. Okay, so the 9%, let's keep that as it is, okay? Let's keep that as it is, and I'll show you why, okay? The 9% can stay. We'll still need to turn it into a decimal. The 408, we can go ahead and change that so it's easier to look at. We can change that to 400, okay? Now this 9%, okay, the 9% I would say let it stay, only because of the fact that we're already changing this. We don't want to be too off on our numbers, okay? So just keep the 9% as is, and we want to change it into a decimal. Remember, our decimal is here, and we want to move it 2 spaces, okay? So we will have 0.09, okay, times our new number is 400. When we multiply 0.09 times 400, we will then get 36. So about how many passengers does the airline expect to order ginger ale on this flight? 36, okay? So please take down your notes. 6th grade, if you need to contact me, please contact me on Edmodo, okay? Or you can just ask me questions in class, okay?